Okay, thanks for joining us, everybody. We're back with more Fallout Shelter and supply chain operations. I have to admit, I did a naughty thing. I got a little carried away and I started playing without recording, thinking I was just going to be doing a little bit of moving around, but this is what we have so far. So, Diane Snow and Victoria Harper are both uh, new, and I've been training them in the athletics room, which we built. I think I have upgraded both of them. Yeah, both of them have been trained, 1 point each, I believe. And Sarah and Donna, who've been in here the longest, they both, come on now, they both have a strength of 4 now. So that's significant. Remember, the strength room was made first, and then the agility room, and the perception room I just made. And what I decided to do, due to the timing, is Charles is our heavy hitter with the perception. He's our supervisor, as you will. And I decided that since it's going to be it's going to be overnight, it's going to be at least 8 hours. Oh, hey, what's up? That was good timing. Um, we might as well train him and keep training him as much as we can. Another side issue I realize is that if we keep swapping people, you know, like replenishing, making it like, always taking the person with the lowest stat and getting them trained, we're constantly going to be leveling them up. And we're going to lose those levels to with the endurance, with the hit points, and it's significant. It's a significant difference. So I'm just gonna leave them in here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put them in there and leave them, and we'll see where we're at. We're running in the middle of all of our requirements here, which is pretty tight on the tolerances, but our productivity is really good. So our minimums, yeah, are all about 50% actually. So it's going to be a little bit boring, and I'm probably going to, well, I don't want to say it's boring, but we're probably going to need to make a couple concessions in that, well, like we have 3 children right now. We're probably going to need to make 1 or 2 more training rooms, I think, possibly. Because we have 5 people in the water room. We have 4 people in the power room. And we actually have 6 people in the diner, which we might not even need. So it's quite possible that I will need to make more training rooms. And I like the smaller training rooms because then if there's an issue, they're easy to solve and they're over quickly. But if you have a big training room, then as we've seen, it causes a lot more issues. And we can do things like we might even be able to like, oh no, we can't destroy this storage room. Anyways, so I'll just think about what we're going to do with that. So she is agility, he is strength, and she is charisma. So they're pretty much one of each. And we pretty much can take one of each person or 3 people. I think. I think we might be able to fill 3 more training rooms. It's going to look a little disorganized, but we'll get through it. They're distinct enough that we can see the guns on the walls perception, the weight bench is strength, and the, what's that thing called? A horse? Pommel horse? Something like that. I don't know. I never took gymnastics. So we're going to leave them overnight. We did get our 3 levels from Jacob, who's now level 22. So he's halfway almost to maximum level with an unmodded game. So he's taking one for the team. He also seems to have very specific taste in clothing. He's getting all the same outfits he got before, which is kind of weird. But whatever. We'll see what he finds for tomorrow. But he's been running around for 4 hours, and I think he's only used a Radaway. He hasn't even used a stim pack yet. I think he uses them when he's halfway. So he's doing a really good job. So overall, I think that the training is really the best way to go before we start getting the increased enemies. If we can train everybody up and get their productivity higher, then, well, and also train up the top 3 stats to at least 5s, at least, then we can get the Overseer's office and go on quests. We can also do the weapon workshop, but I'm very hesitant to do that because it takes a really long time and you really need your people to be trained up in order to use it. So I'm hoping we can get by with what we have right now as long as we don't increase the threat level by increasing more dwellers. Like once we hit 30, we're risking mole rats, and mole rats are way tougher than rad roaches. So that'll be a situation. So anyways, so we'll leave them to train. The children will turn into teenagers or adults, whatever you want to call it, by tomorrow, probably. There he is again. And hopefully we can train people up and keep our productivity numbers up, because the more we can train them, like one of the things I've done before is I've just trained them as much as I possibly can. And then when production started to taper off and become a problem, I just swapped them out then. Like as a requirement, like productivity's not high enough, put the people in. But keep in mind that the time amounts does go up. That's 6 hours, 22 minutes to go from 5 to a 6. So after that, I think it's going to be like 8 or 9 hours. So he can only really go up at most like 2 levels tomorrow. My math is correct. Yeah, because it's going to be over 8, and then it's going to go to like 10 and then 12 or something. But Justin's going to be able to go up levels quick. The reason I'm still kind of contemplating taking the person with the second most perception, which is oh no, they're all at 3. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So he's at 3, right? Yeah, okay. I thought for a second I put the wrong person in there. So we want to maximize it as much as possible. They both have 4. She has a 3. You know what? We might wanna get our guy in there. What's his name? Yeah, Brandon. So that he can train up that bigger point. And then while he's training, we'll just not give him. He won't need that. 2 to 3. Yeah, we're running out of good weapons. So he'll just get the training in, and we'll just level him up tomorrow. Doesn't really matter. But that's probably going to take the 6 hours. It's not showing me. Come on. Yeah, that'll take the 6 hours as well. So we might as well do it now because we're going to be overnight and then we're really going to see what's going on here. I'm anticipating that the food and the water are going to be higher, but that the power is going to be lower because we don't have a robot on this level. And I've been playing quite actively for the last couple of days, so I've been able to keep these numbers, high up. So we're just going to have to see how it turns out. So anyways, we'll leave it there for today. We're still maintaining a good happiness. We're still getting plus 10%. That's a big deal. That's definitely helping us out right now. Everything positive is going in the right direction. Jacob is doing even better than he did last time. We have a few young people that are going to be getting ready to get training or get to work. And actually, that's a really good point, is that their happiness is low because they haven't worked. Some of these people, oh no, they trained up and their happiness did go up. Okay. Fair enough. So yeah, we can leave it there and we'll continue in just a moment. Okay, so a few hours later, I checked in with the game and realized I had a bunch of new vault dwellers wandering around, 3 to be exact. So we made another weight room and another athletics room. So currently we have 10 vault dwellers that are training. I already checked all of them to make sure that they're getting their training. Of course, the intervals are totally different between people due to their ability scores being different. He still hasn't gotten his bonus, but Justin did get his. So you'll find that your vault dwellers will sort of rapidly train to about 4 or 5 in an attribute. It'll get there quite quickly, like within a day or so if you're checking the game frequently. And then things kind of drag on for the last few. So, do we even need to be picking those up? Well, we're full on full. We're full on our Stimpaks and our Radaway right now. So that's not bad. I did take one of the newer dwellers from the diner. I think it was this guy, Vincent. Yeah, it was Vincent. And we'll train him up. Might as well. If I can leave them in there until they're all 10s, then that's what I'm going to do. I've decided. So, I mean, we're still maxed out on everything. Sometimes you don't see the full effect of what you've done until sometimes 6, 12, 24 hours after you've done it, because of the way there's kind of like an in-game delay sometimes. So, and that's the same thing in supply chain as well. Like, you can do a change that seems small, or you don't get feedback right away, you don't see the effect of it unless you're watching very, very carefully and in a specific sense. So if you were to change a process or eliminate waste in a process, you don't always see it right away. Sometimes you do, though, and you can sort of zero in on it like a magnifying glass or a target scope if you know what to look for, typically. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time to see. Now, Jacob has been picking up a lot of stuff. He's level 26 already. He's been picking up more armor. I think he had these 5 earlier. Got another 4 more. Picked up a decent rifle and a rare weapon. Rare weapon recipe. I don't know why that's so difficult for me to say. And some battle armor. So we have 3 pieces of armor for our strength crew. Not the best ones. The military fatigues are the most efficient ones, but you know, we'll use what we have for now to the maximum. Like, some of our dwellers don't even have anything. So I think we only have 1 weapon. Yeah, it's getting pretty thin. We only have BB guns left. So maybe that'll help them practice their aim. But that's where we're at right now. It is still nighttime. See, whenever I pull out and I'm about to close off, half of the time we get attacked. Have you noticed that? I've noticed that. Oh, what are our challenges? We'll take a look at that quickly. So collect 10 weapons. Hopefully Jacob will be able to collect, 9, 10 weapons for us. I'm going to try to keep him out there until he does. Complete 5 quests from the Overseer's office. We're not going to be getting those done anytime soon. I'm going to be very straightforward with you guys. That's going to sit around for a bit. And craft 3 weapons. The weapons crafting place, how much does it even cost? It's 800. It's 800. It takes up a 3 slot. Technically, I could put it here, but I'm anticipating a big jump in energy consumption. And I'm not sure if I already mentioned it, but you really need to have your dwellers trained up very, very well in the specific, attributes, or else it takes way too long. Like, it takes an incredibly long time just to make 1 weapon. Even if you have like 6 people that have good attributes, it still takes like a day or 2. So it's a lot of investment for a weapon. So we're going to hold off on that. It's more important that we get our people running efficiently and we get our rooms running as efficiently as possible by aiming to get at least 5 to hopefully 10 in the related attribute, because then, oh, there's that guy. Then we're going to be able to really maximize our productivity, and we need to hold off on our population as much as possible, because there are some situations that you kind of have to take somebody, or you really want to, like if they're a legendary and you're like, oh yeah, I want that legendary. So no one else is being created in the vault for quite a while until we get everybody trained up. So that might not be the most exciting thing to watch all the time. So I'm going to be doing just some check-ins. We don't have to go through every single thing. I might just check in and be like, yep, we trained everybody up. We did this. Jacob's doing that. All right, we'll come back, in another 6 hours or whatever. So, time is money, and I recognize that everyone's time is very valuable. I did want to spend a little bit more time in the beginning of this series to make sure that people were getting the good start. And then we're just going to focus on the main transitional points, and we'll take it from there. But again, if anyone has any questions or comments, or you need clarification on a game mechanic or an actual supply chain operations mechanic, let me know. This is about learning and understanding. So for now, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back with another quick update. So it is early morning, and Jacob is still out exploring. He's doing an awesome job. He's got himself a hardened combat shotgun now, so he's upgrading, which is really good to see. I almost brought him back to the vault. We did move some people around. We brought Lisa Lee down from the power room. She had the combat armor, which is now on Donna Sutton, who was training her strength. She had trained her strength up to a 5 from a 3, I believe it was. So brought her in there, so we're coming in with a 7 instead of a 5 total for strength compared to Lisa. And the reason I did this is I noticed when I checked in that the power level was like dropping really close to the threshold, the minimum threshold. So I wanted to make sure that we're not falling short, and I'm just going to be checking on it. I also brought in Sarah Harper, who also trained her strength up to 5. Oh, she doesn't have a very good gun. So that's a small concern of mine. Let's just check these real quick. Yeah, they don't need super awesome weapons because they're being trained over here. Who is the person? We'll give her the rusty pistol. All right. Want to make sure that people have at least a half decent weapon. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. Remember the increased strength. So we went from a 5, replaced that 5 with a 7, and then added another 7. Because remember, we did increase our power consumption by a fair bit. We increased the living quarters because we had to get everybody in here. And we did add these 5 training rooms. Now they're not upgraded. The upgrading isn't really worth it. The power consumption is so high compared to the reduction in training time. It's not really, at least it wasn't. As far as I know, it was not worth it. So the main point right now is look now. Now we're able to do the now we're making all kinds of power. This is going to be lower when we are out of game, when we are not actively playing. This will go higher, remember, because the robot keeps the productivity levels higher when you're not actively playing. It's a form of automation. We have these in supply chain. We have MRP, ERP, we have automatic systems, we have our Kanbans, which is kind of semi-automatic, really. And there's all kinds of different systems we can have. Min-maxes, we can have required shipment amounts or fulfillment rates or stocking rates or replenishment rates. There's a lot of automatic systems that can be included. Now, if I wanted to really figure out what's going on, I could put her back in here. So for the short-term issue, she came in. We pulled her in out of training. We had a additional requirement. Or an increased requirement that we just noticed now, because remember, this is more of like a visual production method of being able to see what's going on. Of course. Are you going to be able to get there in time? Yeah, sorry to interrupt the training, but kind of have a bit of a fire. You'd think that they would have automatic fire suppression systems in a vault, or that things would be made out of things that were not combustible, but, you know, cardboard boxes are combustible. I actually have a story about that. A work story. Maybe I'll tell that one day. But, yeah. Yeah, it's important to keep fire away from cardboard boxes. Very important. So far, things are going extremely well. We've already leveled up quite a few people already. Like, if we look at Charles Snow, remember he had a perception of 5. His perception did go to 6. I was pretty sure I just clicked that. Where you going, buddy? Stay in there. Yeah, the clicking with the individuals is still a little touchy. So his perception is now 4. So he is actually one of the most powerful perception-based people. And I mean, look at these are our regular workers. They have a talent. They have a 3, and the outfit is making a big difference here and keeping the productivity high. But the training is really where it's going to be at. When we get the training and when we get the outfits that give the big bonuses, and we get the +7, when we can get +7s for everyone, I mean, and people are fully trained, and it's fully stocked. You have 6 people with 10 perception, for example, and they have the +7 legendary perception outfit, or agility for the diner, or strength for the power plant. It makes a huge difference. Just think about, the comparison of a person with a 2 or a 3, and then maybe, say they have a 3, and then they have a +3 from their outfit. That's only 6. You compare that to someone who is 17, that's almost 3 times as much productivity per worker, and that's what we're really going for. Oh, there's something on my mouse pad. 1 second here. So I'm going to be checking in every hour or 2. I don't want to, set a timer or anything like that, but if you do double click, it will show you the amount of time. So it looks like we have one in about an hour and a half, and then another one. Oh, he's 9 hours. How are you 9 hours? Oh yeah, because he's our guy that was already. He came in at a 5. So his agility. Why does he not have a better gun? Oh yeah, I just switched that out. Now I remember. So what else do we have here? So we have an hour, 3 hours. So in about an hour and a half. And then, where are we at with these ones? And then 4.5 hours. Yeah, an hour and a half. I mean, you can time this stuff out. You could put a timer on your phone if you really want to get active with the training of your dwellers, so that you can just jump on your phone for 5 minutes and just bloop, 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 and just click them and recognize their upgrade. Because the attributes is really kind of like skills related too. It's not just the attribute, it's also their inherent skill rating. Because they don't have individual skills in the game, right? Like, they don't have, like a power generation skill or a water purification skill. It's based off of the attribute. So the attribute is king. So we're going to increase those attributes. So yeah, things are going very, very well. Things are humming right along. And we'll leave it at that. We'll pick things back up in about an hour. We'll see you then. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're playing Fallout Shelter. It's been 48 hours since we started the game, give or take. And look, our score has gone up significantly. That score is going to move around a fair bit, so don't worry about it. But as long as you're getting like a B letter grade, you're doing all right. So we did have a concern last time about power output, and it looks like we're doing okay. It's been about 4 or 5 hours since the last recording, and we did swap out. What did we swap out? We swapped out Donna. So we're getting 3 more points, which is the equivalence of 1 more, regular talented but unequipped worker. So just keep that in mind. So now we have all these people that are getting trained, and you're getting money. Keep that in mind too. If you train somebody from like a 5 to a 6, you get 6 coins. So you're actually getting paid to train these people, which is, in a roundabout way, actually what happens in reality. Like, just a side digression here for a moment. Something that a lot of companies get a little mixed, or some companies get a little mixed up on, is they don't train their people as well as they really could because they're worried that the people will take the training and just get a better job somewhere else. Well, one thing they can do is make sure that that better job is where they're already at. Where the pay, where the respect, the teamwork, the leadership, the day-to-day work, the low stress levels, low nonsense levels. Like that's how you ensure profits. So, like personally, I do process improvements for a living, and it surprises me that people don't always see this. Like, if you could make a process be twice as fast with less effort and less problems, you might have just freed up like $50, $100, $250,000 a year by doing that. And then that money can be reinvested into your people, into training, into getting better equipment, and getting them a better wage, getting them better benefits, getting them better vacation time. Like, it's very straightforward. Some businesses say how good they are at what they do, but I think there's room for improvement in quite a few businesses. Every business that I've worked at, I've done improvements. So, all right, let's have a look at Jacob here. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry about that. I think I'm catching a bit of a cold or something. Yeah, that's quite a bit of stuff he's picked up. He's at 7. So it's 7 stim packs left. So he's about halfway. Yeah, he's about halfway through his stuff. And it's taken 17 hours. He's picked up a better shotgun. That's actually a decent shotgun. That's a decent upgrade. That's a blue weapon. These are green. And then blue is rare, and then gold is legendary. And then I think there's maybe one other level. There's like unique weapons, but that's a decent weapon. He really likes these combat armors. Jeez. Oh, Raider armor. That's pretty good for the diner. It looks a little weird, but it gives a +2. I'm finding it quite strange that we're not really getting very many +3 outfits. Someone mentioned to me a little while ago that they changed that in this game. That +3 outfits are actually quite rare to get on explorations because they give such good bonuses for the rooms. So I'm starting to see that here. But in any case, I mean, there are some much better weapons. No, these are not that great, but that's okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new half-decent weapons. Not great, but half decent. One, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new outfits. Not bad. Not bad. We also got a rare weapon recipe. Does that remind me of the Wazer Rifle in what was that, Fallout 3? They have it in I think they had it in another one too. Uh-oh. Got some bugs in the diner trying to eat up a... Whoop. See, that's effective teamwork right there. Good job, everyone. Good job. I didn't even get a chance to move someone over there. They already took care of it. And that's what you want, right? You want your people to be able to take care of situations very quickly and get on top of it. I guess it doesn't really matter who has the radiation suit because it's not really being operated or used. So when Jacob comes back, that's going to be a sufficient upgrade. Oh, yeah. Why is she not... Yeah, I think we might have to put some of these new kids to work. Come on. Oh, because she's the charisma girl. So she's not super happy about being trained in strength, but we're not going to get the radio room. We don't really need it. It takes up more power, and if we go past this halfway point, that's the trouble zone. Or as what's that old song? Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. That's when we get into the danger zone. Because that gives us less wiggle room with getting things done. And we want to have some wiggle room. We want to have some flexibility. Because that's one of the key things in production is SDFQC. Speed, dependability, flexibility, quality, and cost. Those are three things that we want to maximize as much as possible, you know, depending on our market, but they're things that we want to get done. See, if we had another, we need another blue person, another better worker, but we're not going to be crafting 3 weapons. Collect 70 water in under a minute. Alright, these are a pain. Because they're basically trying to get you to rush the room. So, like, after you collect, you basically need to rush the room right away. And it's a bit of a hassle. So, I'm going to see if we're able to do it. Because this is going to be... Maybe I need to save. I don't know. Something might happen, but if something happens, something happens. But wait until you collect normally to do your rush. Oh, we're going to have to do like 3 of them. That's not great. Especially because the RNG is not very forgiving in this game. Can you move out of the way, please? Move out of the way. 27, we're probably going to get it. And I really don't like how this banner's in the way. So 37, hopefully we get it. Get it. Yeah, okay, good. So that's essentially what you got to do for those. You can equip people with luck things. I'm not sure if the equipment that they have is the best thing or if luck is the best thing. But we got 1,000 caps for that. Level up 15 dwellers, of course. Of course they want us to level up. I think I'm just going to let that one happen naturally because I accidentally click them all the time. I am kind of wondering why I skipped the other one and not this one, but it doesn't really matter. This one we're going to get, hopefully, when Jacob comes back. So we need 9 more, eh? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So we need to get 2 more weapons for sure in order to get that other challenge. But, you know, he's doing pretty well. 17 hours. He's picked up, yes, it was 17 hours. He's only used 7 Simpacks. He's used 2 Radaway. That's partially because of his leveling. He's using less Radaway because he has more hit points total. Even though they're not that high, he's not a super strong individual. But when we get our explorers that have 10 endurance, they can go out for days and days and days. And then they end up getting full and coming back, which, you know, having a higher strength helps that because they get to carry more. Having a higher perception lets them pick like better items comparatively. Endurance helps them stay out longer. Charisma helps them find people, make friends with people, and sometimes bring people back to the vault. Intelligence allows them to find better ways around things, so they get injured less, or they'll, you know, figure out a way through a computer or a lock or something. Agility helps them attack more often, so they do more damage, and to get out of bad situations. And luck is luck. Luck just, you know, luck of the draw. Things end up turning out better. So, I had a little sense earlier about our power, but it looks like we're doing okay. When we do, the next thing I might do is actually I might move this down here. That's something I probably should have done before. I was a little tired the other day and I didn't think of it, but yeah, moving such things over there, maybe breaking this down and moving it over, but I really don't like destructing things in the beginning, but we do have 6 grand. And things don't cost too much. The basic stuff doesn't cost too much, but you'll notice that the storage room is starting to cost more and more. And the med bay, and like all the prices are going up now. Weapon workshop. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the recipes to see if this thing is worth it. But again, we're gonna need to train our people up to at least like 5s. Before we even think about that, because it's going to take up 3 across here or wherever we put it. It's going to take up quite a few of our people to make these things in order to get them done quickly. So, yeah, things are going pretty well. Some people might be wondering, why don't you just, level up all your people and get that lunchbox? I might. I just, you know what? All right. For your guys' sake, I'll do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7. See, I got interrupted. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. So, whatever. We got it done. We'll put a couple more people over there. Oh, I guess we could have just moved him over. That would have been easier. Is it moving the other person? Okay. So, we will handle this easily. Raiders really aren't that tough in the beginning. Like, that guy's already down. She's already in trouble. This guy, there he goes. So, as long as we make sure that we pace our challenges, we'll be all right. Just shoot him a couple more times. You know, there we go. Yeah, we'll collect that, and that counts as a collected weapon. All right, buddy. Your time's over. Admit the inevitable. You made a bad call messing with Vault 333. Good night. And then all those people get experience, and they get a little bit happier, I think, too, because they fought off the bad guys. I think so. It would make sense if they did. Anyways. So we have a lunchbox. And I got that for you guys, so we'll try to see what the pattern is. I think it's there. What's this? Ugh. Well, we got a rusty laser rifle. We got another legendary piece of junk instead of a weapon, instead of a person. That's not what I want. That's not what we want. But we did get... excuse me. We did get a shotgun from the Raiders. We got a armor-piercing scope 44. That's like the best 44 you can get. And a rusty laser rifle. So we can make sure our top workers have the top weapons. Just go through. That one's a 7. That's a 6. And then we're probably going to be pulling him in there. No, nothing better there. It's a 4. Turn it into a 6. You got a regular 44. We're going to give you an even better one. Yeah, get rid of these pistols. Oh my goodness. That only does like 1 damage. So, more or less, I think there's also a couple people that don't even have weapons. That's pretty close. So it's a good idea to just go through them and equip them. Another reason it's a good idea to keep your workforce or your dweller count small is it's easier to keep track of what's going on with them. Easier to keep track of who needs what and what needs to be done where. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. Jacob is going to keep exploring probably for another 10, maybe 20 hours. He's going to get a lot of loot. He's going to get a lot of caps for us. And hopefully he'll even find another person. Because there are encounters that come up. I think it's based off of luck or something. And it comes up like over here in the window. There'll be a thing that pops up. I'm actually kind of surprised one hasn't popped up yet. There might be a minimum amount of time that he needs to travel to find it. But they're extremely useful because you usually get good stuff, but your people need to be really well equipped sometimes. Because you're going to go up against, spoiler alert, death claws, which are quite tough, or big groups of nasties. So, all right, so I think that was probably a good trade-off. To get that lunchbox, we picked up a freaking laser rifle and another pistol and some other stuff we're probably not going to use right away, but that's how it is. You know, the gold legendary duct tape. Anyway, so we'll leave it there, and I will check back in a little bit later. Hello and welcome back, everybody. We're going to be doing something a little different. So this 5 quests, we're going to be holding off on that. We are raising special stats, so we're going to get that quickly within a few hours. This collect weapons, we're going to have to wait for a while for our hero Jacob to come back. He's down to 6 stem packs. He's collected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weapons. We could bring him back. I just had the idea, since our water production is very high and very stable, I have taken the +7% perception equipment off of Anthony. I've re-equipped Justin with one of our most powerful weapons, and I'm going to give him the +7 suit. He's still 4 hours away from leveling up. But something that occurred to me is with the perception, when your stats, including your outfit, is over 10, you tend to find much better things for that situation. And since we're capped out with our Stimpaks and Rataways anyways, and the threats that we're dealing with in the vault are relatively low, we're going to be sending him out. He perhaps does not have all the stats we're looking for. I contemplated doing some quick training on strength and agility just to get him out of a 1. But I want to see how well he fares with massive perception. So we're going to give him a full complement of equipment, and we're going to send him out. What we're also going to do is we're going to take the opportunity of the space allowed in training, and we're going to bring Anthony into training. So we are losing 10 total perception in the water room temporarily, and we'll see how our system deals with it. We might need to end up pulling him back after a few hours, but I think it's very important that we go for it and try the opportunity. It's important to do smart risks, and although Justin is not the toughest, he's not, legendary, he doesn't have amazing stats, but he does have one amazing stat. So we'll do a little test, we'll do a little experiment and see what happens there. I'll check back in with you in a few hours and we'll see what happens. Okay, everyone, we're going to be having a small update. Oh, I went to the wrong window. There we go. So we moved Sharon out of the water treatment room and put Charles in there. He was training. So he has a 6 + 2 from his outfit. So he's a total of 8. And now if we start looking at our other individuals, Anna has a 3 with a +2. Jacob is a 3 with a +2. And Cynthia has a 3 with a +4 from her outfit. So we do only have one perception training room at the moment. Here's Anthony hiding in the back. I see you, Anthony. You better be training back there. All right, he's doing a good job. Another thing I wanted to point out is that during the day when you can check on your dwellers, it is actually better to keep swapping them out and training them when they have lower ability scores, so that instead of just keeping them in there and then they might gain like 3 levels in the next couple days, but if you train up like 4 people in one day and then maybe 3 people the next day, 2 people the next day, because their scores are going to go up, I'm thinking that that's a better way of doing it. Since we already clicked them from the level thing, we're producing plenty of power, and we are going to be swapping out some of these individuals as well, because we only really have 2 that are, higher performers right now. So if the power starts to wane, we can always swap them out. I mean, we have Sarah. She's a powerhouse at 6 right now. Lisa is definitely getting stronger at 4. Nathan is pretty beefy at a 5, and Sarah's at a 4. So we have a stronger workforce. We could swap 2 of them out right now which is what we're going to do. So it is a little fidgety, it is a little fumbly, especially with your stronger people. So one good thing is that if you click a new person and then have them go in to the room, they automatically pick the person with the highest level. So that automates things a little bit for you. And then all you have to do is give them the better equipment. And now instead of, what did she have? She had a 3. A 2 plus 2. We have a 5 plus 2. So that's an additional 3 points. So we're going to keep our power levels strong. Now, why are we concerned about this right now? Because we're going to be adding 2 more rooms. We're going to be adding another perception training room and another strength training room. Strength is the most critical skill that we need to train right now. So everything that we can do to make this group of workers as powerful and strong and competent and productive as possible is key. So it might be a little overblown to make another strength room. I think I'm going to hold off on that, but we definitely need to make another perception room, and it only costs $750 for us. So we're definitely going to get that moving, as I think we can get at least one of these individuals in here. Oh, we have 2 Jacobs. All right, Anna, what we're going to do is we're going to get you training on your perception. We do have these individuals training their agility. Here and here, we're getting 4s and 5s by the look of it. So they're getting more efficient, and we're just going to stop our growth, as we mentioned before, with our population. We're just going to stop it. We're not going to hire any more people. We're not going to have any more babies. We're not going to grow anything at all. We're stopping. And now this is a very strategic choice in the overall sense, and it's a very tactical choice as well, because we're making very good tactical decisions for our vault. Now we are gaining up our stim packs and our rataways after sending Justin out in the wasteland. He's doing okay. He's picked up a few things, but in general, I think it's a bit. This is more of an experiment for me to see how things are going to work for him, if he's going to be able to pick up some better gear. But keeping in mind, he's only level 2, and we'll see what happens. We do also have our Jacob Hawkins, our hero. He's running out of stim packs. I'm keeping an eye on that. We're going to have to bring him back soon. It's going to take him time to come back. See, it's going to take 10 hours for him to come back. When we get a pet that cuts that down to half, then it'll only be 2.5 hours, which will be even better. Or 5 hours? I forget the... And they might have changed it by now. But it takes half as much time to get back as it does to go out. Look at this. Lots of experience he's gaining. Yes, his endurance is not going to be as good, but he's going to be very high level. He's going to be very competent. He's going to have very good gear. So we're going to be able to send him out. He's going to be able to do some work for us and get some special equipment. Look at all this stuff he picked up. Now, it's all +2 +1, +2 +1 type stuff, which is not the best for production rooms. These are more geared for adventuring, but it still works for us. Whoa. All right, you ladies got that? See, watch how fast they get rid of it. Boom. That's the advantage of having smaller training rooms. The bigger the training rooms are, we'll just level her up so we can see when she's increased her training, which will be... Sorry for the zoom in. I realize it's kind of fast. But most of the people here are going to be within the next few hours. I'm hesitant to take... If we still had that +7 suit, I'd grab another person and put them in the training room because the amount would cover it. But you know what? We can still do it. She's a 3. We don't want to take her out because there's no other women that are working in here that can use this. This is not usable for the males, the men in here. So let's do this. We'll give him the +5, the ruler outfit, which again is better for, different kinds of work. We're going to give you the sawed-off shotgun, and we're going to put you in here. Now, he only has a 3, so he's going to train up in like a couple of hours. So in that amount of time, there's not going to be too much of a hit to the water level, and if there is, we can just bring people back in. Okay? So it's not really a big deal. We could technically make another agility room and train people's agility. Let's just get rid of that rock. We'll have to think about that. Because remember, our power consumption is a little bit more than halfway by the looks of it. So we got to keep real close eye on that. Because if things go out of control, it's really difficult to pull it back in. But I think we're being relatively stable. Our people are relatively well equipped. Jacob, our adventurer, is going to be coming back with gear. Justin is going to be coming back with gear as well. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't get dead. I'm going to think about the agility room a little bit because it really didn't take up that much, did it? And I mean, let's look at them. She has a 2, 2, 2. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Or am I? No, it's still 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. Yeah, they need to be trained. Let's just get that rolling now. Or we could just swap them out. Well, we have so many people with agility. Here's what we can do. We can replace... It's better to train the people... I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to click her. There we go. It's better to replace the people with the higher agility. Like, let's send him in there. And in essence, because of his value... All right, we're going to take yours, give you a regular weapon. We're going to send him in there. We're going to give him the handyman jumpsuit. Look at that. He's got a 9 total. So, realistically, we can get another training room going here for agility. You want to train these primary attributes. I know I might be beating a dead horse here, but we really want to train these prime attributes of strength, perception, and agility as much as possible right now. So I'm going to make the executive call, and I'm going to make another athletics room. Watch our power consumption. It just went up. You see that? It just went up a little bit, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be A-okay. All right. Well, there's no one that she's really replacing, so maybe we'll just grab... Really? They all have shotguns? Rifle, shotgun. See, we're running a little bit lean in the water room right now, but hopefully we can get a couple levels of training into our individuals. So I'm just going to get... Hello? Did I take the robot by accident? No. The robot seemed to constantly get in the way. Go back up there. All right, you train. You train. There's no advantage of changing their gear. There's 3 of them in here, so the weapons they have is doable. We need to give him something better. Again, it's best to give the person with the highest stat the most effective weapon, because they can do the most effectiveness with it. All right. I think that'll be okay. I'm going to keep a close eye on this and make sure. Wow, she's level 9 already? Oi. All right. We're not going to worry about that too much. Basically, how the overall is going to be is that our first group is not going to have the best stats. So long term, they're probably going to stay in the vault and deal with the internal issues because they're less dangerous. But when we start with our new employees, our the children, right? They have level 1. We can make sure that we train them up and keep their levels low so that they don't level up and lose the hit points from the endurance from going up levels. They will be more effective for our adventurers. You know, brings a fresh perspective, some young blood into the situation. But look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people are training. Half of our vault is training right now. And this is the advantage. It becomes a momentum. It becomes... This is how you get ahead of the curve before we hit the 30 population, because once we hit that, a whole bunch of things change. Classroom is good, but we don't really need the intelligence bonus because we're already capping out on stim packs. The outfit workshop, marginal. We could be making the weapons things in the weapons workshop, but it's going to take up too many people. It's going to take up too many resources and too much power. So we're not going to be concerned about it now. We're going to do that later, okay? Just to be totally clear with everyone, we're going to keep our rooms first level. They're not going to be upgraded. We are not going to upgrade these other rooms because the power drain is going to go way up, especially for the food and the water. So remember, we need to keep this room as powerful as possible and as efficient as possible. So we have Donna, remember, 5 plus 2 from outfit, 5 plus 3 from outfit, 2 plus 3 from outfit, and 5 plus 2. We're just going to swap those around. It's a little silly, don't you think? So that we know. I like tagging the highest level people with the highest level gear and the highest level weapons, because they're more effective that way. Now, Jerry's not really doing a whole lot. Now, I am a little concerned about the power generation, but that's something that we can have a look at. I mean, it would be fair... Oh, jeez. Another fire. They love their fires in this game. Come on. So, if we absolutely need to, we can bring Sarah Harper back into... Show me the time. Because she's not going to be done for like 6 hours. But it's a bit of a trick because I want to get her trained up as much as possible. We are aiming for 10s, okay? We are aiming for 10 in the attributes, if possible, minimum of 5. Right now we're in a bit of a weird spot with the strength. Because at this point, we only have 2 rooms. We have 2 for perception and 3 for agility, because that's just the people that we were given. So these 2 ladies, there we go. They're going to train up in like an hour. So it takes a little bit more attention to make sure that your people are trained up, but it's totally worth it. I'm going to keep an eye on this. I want to keep her in there as much as possible. She's the one. I usually pick one person and just try to keep them in there until they reach a 10. Then when they hit a 10, then I put them in the room, and then they do the work of, well, in essence, I mean, if you think a person normally has 2 or 3, if they have a 10 plus 2 or, plus 3, they have a 13. There's 6 workers in one. Or 3 or 4 workers with gear. So it's a direct relationship. So keep that in mind. So we're going to keep her in there. We did move our perception guy out because I wanted to get a little bit more gear because we're kind of light on gear. We have people running around with 1 damage guns, which is not great. So, plus I just wanted to experiment because experimenting's good. We're going to keep them in there. I'm probably going to keep Vincent in there. We'll see. It's usually better to keep a higher level person if possible because they've already used up some of their endurance. Level 6, level 9, we might just keep Francis in there. She's already level 9. We're probably going to keep her in the diner. All right, anyways, so I just wanted to update everyone with that. Things are going very well. We're going to keep a very close eye on our consumption and our production rates. So far, we're doing exceptionally well. Our happiness is really high. I'm not too worried about getting this to the maximum right now because that's largely dependent on population expansion and rushing rooms and that sort of a thing. We're going to keep an eye on our 2 adventurers. He's already used a stim pack an hour in. We'll just see what he comes up with. He's going to be going up levels anyways. We're going to be fully training him anyways. So I figured we might as well get him with some experience and grab a few things because he's the best candidate. Oh, was that 4 before? I'm going to have to really keep an eye on that. All right, anyways, so just a quick check-in. And we will... What time are we at? Oh, we're going to end things there. And we'll be back on the next episode. Sorry for the abrupt cutoff on the last video. I didn't realize we were already at or over an hour. But thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the series. If you have any questions about the game or supply chain or improvements or training, please feel free to let me know. And I hope you have a great day. See you next time.